as you're coming along the Rock Creek Loop Trail, or wherever you're walking and you come across lady slippers, you might watch and see if you can find one that is forming a seed capsule. And we're seeing that right here. Now, lady slippers, they have beautiful flowers, and we, so enjoy finding any of them anywhere, but they attract pollinators without really anything to give the pollinator. So you usually think of this as a mutualistic relationship where the classic example, the insect comes in and gets pollen or nectar, the flower gets fertilized, and boy, everybody's happy, and that's a win-win situation, and that's mutualism. Well, in this case, the flower is beautiful, and it sort of calls in particularly bees, and those bees enter the flower and then leave, but they find no nectar and no pollen. Because of that, this plant, in part of its distribution, is limited by its pollination rate. Pollination rates for lady slippers fall down around 5%. So you can see a lot of lady slippers, and you'll see a lot of leaves, and down here you can see the leaves and parallel venation, typical of a monocot. Of course, these are in the orchid family, and orchid is the largest plant family that we have, over 25,000 species worldwide. And one of the characteristics is they have parallel venation in their leaves. This will form a capsule that will dry out and crack open at multiple sites. And the wind will blow tiny microscopic seeds out and around. If that seed hits and forms a sort of callus with the right fungal mat, it may then germinate. That would be, don't confuse that with something above ground. Nothing will happen maybe for a couple of years before we begin to see something growing above ground. This is extremely dependent, as are almost all orchids, on the mycorrhizal associations. And that's why you should never try to dig these up and move them, because it's the fungus that's so particular that they have to have. Moving these somewhere else means the fungal mat will probably die out. It takes 1 to 2 years, and then the plant will inevitably follow after that. So nobody, these are never for sale that I'm aware of where they have been raised from seed. We don't know how to do that yet, so beware of anyone that would offer you one of these beautiful lady slippers. So they're best enjoyed in the forest. Thousands of seeds from that one, so they don't pollinate very often, but it's a big payoff when they do. We'll talk more about this sort of deception that orchids use as we troll along and as we look at the flowers when they're in bloom.